Welcome back, fellow gamers, to another dive into the twisted and macabre world of video game lore. Today, on 24 Theory, we're sharpening our blades and delving into the spine-chilling narrative of the Saw video game series. Prepare to navigate through a labyrinth of traps, puzzles, and moral dilemmas as we unravel the dark and intricate storyline behind one of gaming's most infamous franchises. So grab your courage, because in this game, survival isn't just about skill. It's about making the ultimate choice between life and death. The story revolves around David Tapp, a former homicide detective abducted by John Kramer, better known as the Jigsaw Killer. During the first Saw film, Tapp witnessed his longtime friend and partner, Detective Stephen Singh, fall victim to one of Jigsaw's traps. Following his subsequent discharge from the Metropolitan Police Department, Tapp became obsessed with avenging his friend and continued the investigation independently. While doing so, he was shot in the chest by Zepp Hindle, whom he believed to be the killer. Tapp survived, albeit severely injured, and was eventually found by Jigsaw, who treated his wound and took him to the abandoned Whitehurst Insane Asylum. Shortly afterward, Tapp wakes up in a bathroom with a reverse bear trap on his head. He quickly pulls it off and ventures into the rest of the asylum. He is led to a medical wing by another victim of Jigsaw, only to be betrayed by the man. Tapp learns that he is hunted by other victims in the asylum who need a key sewn into his chest to escape. Jigsaw informs Tapp that a woman is trapped in the medical wing and needs Tapp's help to survive. The latter quickly identifies her as Amanda Young, a former victim and survivor of one of Jigsaw's games. He saves Amanda, and she follows Tapp until a mysterious pig-masked figure captures her. Tapp is forced to move on alone. Eventually, he is subdued by Pighead, who puts an explosive collar around his neck. Upon continuing his way, Tapp finds another man held captive by Jigsaw. The victim, Jennings Foster, is a former colleague of Tapp. Years earlier, he killed a homeless man in a hit-and-run accident. When Tapp insisted on investigating the case, Jennings framed an innocent man, causing him to be sent to prison. Tapp ultimately releases Jennings from his trap. However, the latter abandons him as he blames Tapp for his abduction. The detective traverses the asylum and finds the grave of his former partner, Stephen Singh. Tapp discovers that Jigsaw captured Melissa Singh, his late partner's widow. Following Singh's death, she suffered from depression and neglected her son, Franklin. Tapp eventually finds her in another one of Jigsaw's deadly traps. He saves her in time but is abandoned because Melissa holds him responsible for her husband's death. Tapp continues his way and realizes that all the victims in the game are somehow connected to him and his obsession with apprehending Jigsaw. Shortly afterward, he learns about the next hostage, a journalist named Oswald McGillicuddy. Jigsaw abducted the latter because McGillicuddy destroyed Tapp's reputation after Singh's death. Despite his smear campaign against Tapp, the former detective saves McGillicuddy from a trap that would otherwise break his back and limbs by bending them backward. However, Oswald dies when he enters a hallway and accidentally triggers a booby trap shortly afterward. Forced to go on alone again, Tapp eventually makes his way to the asylum's crematorium. To his surprise, he learns that the next victim, Obie Tate, came to Whitehurst of his own free will as he desired to be tested by Jigsaw and put up a newspaper ad to contact the killer. Tapp frees him from a furnace but is scolded by Obie because the latter wants to survive without his assistance. Obie ultimately leaves him behind, accusing Tapp of having ruined his game. Tapp eventually reaches a theater where Jigsaw's next victim is held captive. He learns that the prisoner is Jeff Ridenour, whom Tapp had previously saved from Jigsaw's lair on the night of Singh's death. As he became obsessed with Jigsaw, Tapp started harassing Jeff to get information about the killer. Therefore, Jeff unsuccessfully attempted suicide, causing Jigsaw to target him again. Tapp saves Jeff from a deadly trap, but is abandoned again. The detective proceeds through the asylum to the end of his game and encounters Jigsaw's accomplice, Pighead. Jigsaw explains that the latter tries to sabotage Tapp's game as he wishes to surpass his mentor. Tapp subsequently engages in a fight with Pighead and eventually kills his opponent. He takes a key from his corpse and enters the asylum's library, where Jigsaw confronts him in person and presents him with a final ultimatum. Depending on the player's choice, there are two possible outcomes. Tapp can either choose to let go of his obsession with Jigsaw in exchange for the freedom of all remaining victims still trapped at Whitehurst, or decide to uncover the truth about Jigsaw and condemn all the other prisoners. Truth. If the player decides to go after Jigsaw, Tapp has to pursue a mysterious hooded figure he believes to be the killer. However, when he catches and brutally beats them up, Tapp realizes that the figure is, in fact, Melissa Singh. He learns from an audio tape that Melissa was forced to play one of Jigsaw's games and put several obstacles in Tapp's path to save her son, Franklin. Melissa tries to run away from Tapp and charges through a door. However, she accidentally triggers a booby trap and dies. Following the traumatic events at Whitehurst, Tapp suffers another mental breakdown and is taken to a functional asylum, believing he is still playing one of Jigsaw's games. Freedom. If the player decides to let go of Jigsaw, Tapp escapes from Whitehurst and frees the rest of the people trapped inside. The newspapers subsequently declare him a hero the following days, redeeming his reputation. Nonetheless, Tapp cannot overcome his obsession and returns to his apartment, where he commits suicide by shooting himself in the head. The sequel, Saw 2, later confirmed this ending as canonical. And that's it. Thanks for joining us on this chilling exploration of the Saw video game story. If you enjoyed the ride, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to 24 Theory for more deep dives into gaming lore, and hit the bell icon to stay updated. Until next time, remember, the game isn't over until it's truly game over. Stay sharp, gamers.